two to think about.
Give you a minute or two.
Yeah.
About that, perhaps you could have all the people who are helpers give their explanation of duty since we have it.
Okay. I'm gonna try to.
Oh, your experience does that?
Well, yeah, I'm with the icebreaker. I would say I need words. Icebreakers, the urban one.
Okay.
I'm going to try to pronounce it.
What's your name?
Kenneth Long.
Kenneth?
Long.
Nice to have you.
So are you giving an icebreaker tonight? Icebreakers during the day. It's like
It's another club.
Okay.
Okay, for the lexicologist was Lakeisha, right?
No.
Sharika.
Sharika.
Sharika. Okay. Would you stand and tell us the duties of the lexicologist?
Just to pick up. Some people use it.
The division of the church is
Schism.
schism. That's why some of the churches are separated right now. They're divided. It's schism.
Good.
Okay, Miriam, this is Roger. Roger's going to tell us the duties of the Miriam.
This is the Toastmaster. I should be listening hard for folks. They have to be really bad for me to pick them up. So, work at it. Otherwise, I should be listening for a few years of the English language, and I will make a report in the meeting.
Fantastic. The all counter is Leonard. Leonard's going to tell us the
What I'm
responsibility.
going to do as the R-counters, I will listen for unnatural pauses. You may make an or some kind of sound like that. If I hear it distracts from the communication, I'm going to make a little note. I'll do this unless you're giving a prepared speech. Quiet and barking. I will report at the end, and we will eventually end up with a schism between those who have lots of ahs and ahs and those who don't have any.
Fantastic.
Mr. Toastman.
Leonard.
Okay, Carol is our listener. Carol, you tell us the list of jobs required.
Part of good communication is to see how well you listen to the information that's presented. And so at the end of the meeting, I will ask a few questions about what people talk about in table topics, about prepared speeches, any sort of things that go on during the meeting, and we'll see how well you listen.
There you go.
Okay, we have Stephen as the roll counter and timer.
My job is to time the speeches with 5 to 7 seconds. When we do 5 minutes, I should do about 6 minutes and we get 7 minutes every day.
Okay, great job. And we're back again to Jim the Joke.
Okay. I will tell a Chicago story. Last January, I went to Chicago for a wedding. And it was so cold up there. I saw a politician with his hands in his own pockets.
This time I table
You're using a Chicago story.
lose my paper colors. Is it Ivan?
Actually, I think we have a trade out of that from our meeting last week. The trade out out here.
Okay, we need the table topics master.
I'll do it.
Ivan, do it.
You want to go do it?
Go ahead.
Go for it.
Ivan?
Fantastic. So Ivan's going to
don't have anything to talk about.
Just checking, huh? Just checking.
All right, this is our table topics master, Ivan. I've been reading some fantastic books. One of the books that I've been reading is by John Maxwell, entitled The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Leadership is becoming more and more important as we go forth in Toastmasters. I believe initially Toastmasters focused on verbal communication, but now it's expanding into leadership. With that in mind, what does leadership mean to you, Leonard?
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Well, leadership actually stems from the concept of having a group of people who are following. You can't be a leader if you don't have anybody following you. So the trick is, how might one be an effective leader? Well, you might be an effective leader by helping people to see a vision that you have and motivating them and organizing in such a way that they help you to get that vision to come about. So one of the concepts of leadership, I believe, is vision. If you have vision, then you can sort of wrap up a picture of the future state, make it so crisp in the minds of the other people that they say, you know, I believe that I would like to help you make that come about, and then the whole group moves in that way. It could be in a small group, it could be in a group our size. You might have a leader here. You might have a number of people who are trained to become leaders, and they will all go through the process. In fact, one of the beauties of Toastmasters is we provide you the tools for learning how to become a leader. You can take one little step at a time. It is not difficult. Once you have gotten leadership, then things happen. Without leadership, all we are is an angry mob. You gotta have leaders. I'd say that Toastmasters is on the right track in helping us to become effective leaders. That's a different topic.
Thank you very much. Along those lines, as an effective leader, one of the things that we need to focus on, and what a lot of people focus on, are their strengths and their weaknesses. I was reading this book by Tom Roth called Now Discover Your Strengths. And as we go through life, what we focus on, a lot of the times we'll say, well, you're really good in math, but you're not good in English. Or you're really good in science, but you need to focus more on chemistry. What this book tells you is to forget about your weaknesses. Don't even look at it. Just improve on your strengths. Based on that information, what do you think are your strongest points, and how are you going to improve them? Carol.
Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master. My strongest points are probably my interest in other people, particularly young people. It just sort of seems throughout life that I've always been involved, usually through my church, but sometimes through other organizations, with young folks. And that has come from working in the inner city in San Antonio with 4- and 5-year-olds in a Bible class, to working on a church bus ministry and picking up kids very frequently from dysfunctional families that sort of saw church as free babysitting. That's okay, we'd pick them up and take them to church and teach them about God. Those are the sort of things that I see as strengths. And if I was going to put that into a career term, one of the things that has shown up on career interest testing for me over the years has been social worker, which I never studied, but I actually make a pretty good one when it comes to helping someone find the sort of help and support that they need, particularly in the healthcare system, because I'm so familiar with that. So that's kind of my strength, is working with people and trying to help young people come along and turn into young adults, find their way through the system.
Outstanding. of the evening. Everyone in America is chasing success, whatever that means to you. To you, it might mean that you want to have a big house and lots of money in the bank. But a lot of people have pursued that goal, and they found at the end, after they have reached that, even if they were successful, they felt an emptiness inside. One of the things that Darren Hardy talks about in his Success magazine this month is that what we really are pursuing is not so much success as a twofold objective, which entails significance and success. What Carol talked about was a success that they'll talk about and long after she's here. What she accomplished, how she touched people, the relationships that she built. She's talking about being successful in a significant way, and that's helping others. With that in mind, looking at success and significance, when it comes to the end, what do you want them to say about you and your life work? Jim.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak about what I want people to say about me. Do I want to fantasy? Do I want reality? I think my goal in life, if there's such a thing as a goal in life, is to leave good footprints in the sands of time, not heel marks. That's my goal. How do I do this? I do this by working with my kids to make them good people. And I feel we've accomplished this. I have 4 good kids, and they have 4 families. And the families are all good. I thought, how can you go wrong with that? That was number 1 thing. Number 2, work with other people's kids. Because I think I can do that sort of thing. And I've done that throughout my life. I was a scout leader for a while when I was younger. At a time when I had no boys in my family. I was a Boy Scout master. Because I felt in my heart, one of the problems I saw in scouting was that a scout leader who has his son in scouting either A, teaches him too roughly or not hard enough. They can't treat him the same as the rest of the kids. So I felt, have no kids in the group at all, I could treat everybody equally, and I'm sure I did. I think that's important. I organized a teenage square dance club here in Grand Prairie, which became the oldest square dance club for teens in the state of Texas to this day. I think it's important to give from yourself. I work on the concept, which is a small concept, but I believe in my heart. I receive through the same hole I'm giving. The more I give, the more I receive. To me, that's important. And in a short period of time, as you might know or might not know, I'm going to be going, ho, 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 all over the place because I'm Santa Claus at Christmas time. And Stephen knows the secret now. So that's what I wanted to say right now. Because I think that's important.
Thank you very much. Do we have a timer's report for our table topics contestants? Everybody. Y'all qualified? Thank you very much.
Without financial responsibility.
If you would please cast your votes and pass them around to our vote counter.
Yes, that's it.
Pass them around to Stephen. He is the timer at the vote counter, and we will take the vote and we'll find out who won at the end. For that, I will turn control of the lecture back over to our Toastmaster, Larry Evans. Larry James. Sorry, Larry James.
Because you did a good evaluation anyway. He'll be able to evaluate. He's going to be doing his numerous speeches. He's going to do the evaluation of statements. I know, he's speaking.
I'm going to call you 2 minute break. I'll get you.
Okay, we're going to take a 2-minute break to get prepared for the speeches for the day. So
What speakers do we have?
Right now, we have